The Chief of Staff of President Bola Tinubu, Gbajabiamila, don't enter inside yet another gbege again. This time around, the money plenty, 54 billion naira, according to this exclusive by People's Gazette. And this time around, not be fake agency, it get to do with fake law. How far will we continue to go with stories like this, especially at a time when it be say the same federal government, they tell Nigerians to manage. So they know, say the laws and way be say they don't put in place, or the reforms and what they make, they difficult, they hard. You go feel bring hardship, but not just at the moment. But Nigerians go to suffer at the moment when it be say people with at the helm of their affairs, they go to enjoy at the moment. That's a question where a lot of people they ask. I be all of this not just ordinary rumor where people they carry, not be saying that true, say anything they happen. But that question will not get plenty answers to them. But above all, the former minister for aviation for inside the country, Hadi Sirika, under President Muhammad Buhari administration, don't come and talk, say, if it come to do with the economy, say President Buhari work much more, saying they better past Tinubu, saying do very well for inside the economy, saying strengthen the economy very well. People, they say, excuse me, Hadi Sirika of the fake Nigerian air. Sorry, is this for real or something else? Are you trying to say that the same Buhari that a lot of people saw as a failure is actually way better than the whole Jagaban? That's my question. Where we say a lot of people they ask, well, how does Sirika beating chest? As we say they talk on today, marking the 1 year anniversary of the death of President Muhammadu Buhari, or former President Muhammadu Buhari. And above all, we look at other issues, especially as it gets to do with the law. The money then we say we don't spend for inside this country, especially our finances, because Nigerian government don't come out and talk. Say, in fact, say the reform we say they don't do, say it don't they change lives, and say we don't they experience the gains. All of that and more issues now we're going to talk about today. And not forgetting the release of the Oyo pupils. As it says, some people don't carry and talk, say they were actually released, not rescued. Waiting that statement mean. Evidence don't show, say then they released and not rescued. If they were released and not rescued, waiting it be say be the terms of agreement when they get with the criminals or the people who be say kidnap them, we make them release them and not kidnap rescue them. That's not the question where a lot of people they ask. Oh, welcome to Updates with Precious, another beautiful day to bring on an update of all the things so they talk about for inside the country and things that they happen for inside the country. I go take small break. When I come back, I go just run through some of the matter then where they share for the country, and then I go invite my guest for inside the studio today. Joining me in a person where be says I be well as you get to do with the economy. I'll let you know who the person be after the break. I come back. Good evening, Nigeria. Welcome to Updates with Precious. Another very beautiful day to bring on an update of all the things that happen for inside our country. So before I bring my guest enter inside studio, make I just give on a small hint of the things and what they share for inside Nigeria. So Yawa don't gas for inside ADC as I speak to you right now, because courts don't stop INEC from recognizing the David Mark-led ADC. Say, you know what? ADC no they recognized as it take be right now. And this one don't set another clog in the wheel for the presidential bid of Atiku Abubakar. We'll never know how far this case will go, but make I let you into the case very, very quickly so that I go put mouth inside. And then in spite of, in a split decision of 2-1, the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja today, Monday, affirmed the judgment restraining the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, from recognizing or participating in any state congress, that is the ADC, in any state congress organized by the committees appointed by the Senator David Mark-led caretaker committee of the ADC. So a 3-member panel of the appellate court in lead verdict delivered by Justice Okon Abang said it's found no reason to set aside the restraining order the Federal High Court in Abuja has issued against Mark-led ADC on April 29. So just to give you a preamble, so it further upheld the order of the trial judge, Justice Joyce Abdul-Malik, which restrained the David Mark-led executives from interfering with the tenure and functions of the party's electoral state executive. So the appellate court concurred that responsibility for conducting state congress or congresses, as it were, of political parties rests with elected state executive committees, not with the national leadership. So while Justice Abang and Donatus Okoronkwo gave the majority verdict, barring the electoral body from acknowledging the outcome of any Congress led by David Mark, the head of the appellate courts panel, Justice Abba Mohammed, gave a dissenting judgment. So in his minority decision, Justice Mohammed held that the case that precipitated the restraining order bordered on a non-justiciable internal affair of a political party. So meaning say political party matter no supposed be waiting, suppose they court, they justiciable. So in his minority decision, Justice Mohammed held that the case that, I think he held that the trial court was wrong to have assumed jurisdiction to entertain the matter. Meanwhile, the Court of Appeal judgment may jeopardize the presidential candidacy of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and, of course, his running mate, Rotimi Chibike-Amechi. This one don't lead to another wahala entirely. So in case you don't understand what in this matter mean, simple case now say, other factions of the ADC been carry waka go court, go tell court, say, please stop David Mark and his team from carrying themselves, saying that them be the official people we get to the party, because now they're not supposed to get hand for waiting the party. So for the judgment where the court give, court talks, say, well, anything we get to do with state executive of the party, saying a state supposed to handle them, or the state executives not supposed to handle them, saying you're not supposed to be the national body of the party supposed to handle them. So therefore, that judgment now don't scatter the plan the way BC David Mark and Aregbesola or the Atiku Abubakar led team go get. When me say this one, we put wahala for inside Atiku Abubakar presidency. How far this one will go? Another court judgment will come to them upside down. We don't know. Well, federal government suspend planned increase of WAEC NECO registration fee. I tell them yesterday as they've been talked, said they would do that one, but now federal government does suspend. I said they need to do it again. Or your children were beaten. We were forced to trek through forests at night. School principal, now the narrator in the BC then go through. Obi bemoans renewed killings in Benue and Plateau State. And those ones full for things so BC they happen for inside the news very, very quickly. 8 killed, 5 injured in fresh community attack in Benue State. Another attack entirely. Meanwhile, Governor Adeleke don't call for visa ban on political leaders where BC they involved for election violence. Any of them when they do election violence, I beg, may they come out them. OK Movement disowns self-acclaimed major group leader Ogunche Sani, and then Atiku Media Office accuses INEC of granting portal access to ADC factions. So wahala day for inside all the political parties. As ADC they face their own, not vex. NDC fit also face their own very, very soon. And I did tell you earlier that more trouble for Dave Umahi as Nigerian lady links death to physiotherapist who died at, of course, Minister Umahi's house to possible organ harvesting. Meanwhile, Umahi talks, say, oh, na physiotherapist, where we say them post come my house. But circumstances surrounding her sudden death never still they know. As Umahi just seen a person will be say them post for inside the house. But how that kind of thing take happen under your watch like that, we never know. Well, plenty stories there where be say they happen for inside the country. Weeks after Gbajabiamila gained traction, concealed Asarok memo shows how Gbajabiamila used fake law to corner 54 billion in oil revenue. 54 billion naira in oil revenue. Remi Tinubu should learn to reduce her convoy before advising musicians to, of course, manage their own. Plenty to read and day for Inside the News, but very quickly make a call in our guest on Inside the House. Joining us on Inside the House, and person with BC Sabi, foremost financial expert for Inside Nigeria, Mukhtar Mohammed. Mr. Mukhtar, thank you so much for obliging me. It's been a long time I've had you here. Thank you, sir. This one that you're smiling. I like the twinkle in your eyes and the smile on your lips. And something tells me it's going to be a great conversation.
You know, when it comes to your problem, there's always a touch of reality and saying it the way it is.
Aww.
So well done.
Thank
always
you.
proud of what you are doing. So maybe that's why I'm smiling, because I'm in for a nice time.
Thank you. I wanted to say stop it. I like it. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. All right, sir. So let's get to the matter. I remember the conversation with me and you get before this president enter power. I remember the conversation with me and you get when he enter power. I remember the conversation we will get when people begin suffer, when they do hunger protests. I remember as the country they now. President Tinubu say we don't begin enjoy the games of reforms. Where the country they now in terms of these reforms by President Tinubu. Especially, I know make you tell me how people they use enjoy for stock market to. I beg, tell me how it affects the common man. How the common man don't they enjoy the gains of these reforms? Go ahead, sir.
Precious.
Sir?
When you want to talk economy, you
Yes,
will
sir.
talk everything. So
No problem.
we will not
But
go
the one
fit
when the
say.
important part to us now, say affect our people. Now the important to us.
So all affect our people. It might be some category of people, but they still be Nigerians.
Okay, sir.
The long and short of it be say to be sincere, the reform have not really touched the downtrodden. And the main
Ew.
reason why the reform not dey touch the people where matter, because this reform now from up to down instead from down to up.
Oh,
So a lot of people are not benefiting. Now, may I tell you one of the issues? The issues is that when you are doing a reform, you must have a target. Who are you targeting? Now, when they came in, when Tinubu come power, their target was mostly to get investors. Now, the type of investor when you they get now, it matter. Now, which kind of investor they get? They not get what they call the foreign direct investors. When go come, then build companies, stay, create job. So the kind of investors when they get now, what they call hot money investors. Those are when see opportunity, come your stock market, your euro bond, your fixed income, your money, because they don't get those kind of return for their own
we can't have
country.
this network issue today.
They can't. Are we there?
Sincere apologies, please. Sorry. I don't know if it was my network or yours, sir. I don't know which one it was, but my sincere apologies. Go ahead, please, sir.
No problem. We are good.
Thank you, sir. So please go ahead.
So, like I said, the reform supposed to be from down to up, but not from up to down. And why it be from up to down? We say the government were more or less looking for foreign investors. So most of the policy was geared towards getting foreign investors. But there are different kind of foreign investors. When you get FDI, foreign direct investors, they don't come to stay. They will invest in the company for the long term. But unfortunately, not with those type we attract. We attract those investors that see opportunity in our stock market, fixed income market, euro bond, bonds, treasury, because the kind of return they will get from Nigeria, they can't get it in their own country. So that was
so it doesn't like say men just come collect, go, chop, go. As fast as it lasts. So if you not last again, they run.
They run. So they not come to create job. So, and for this our economy as it is so now, the major challenge why people know they fit do within they want to do now lack of job. So these people not create job. Now the first fact of the reform be that. The second one, companies, you remember say companies suffer too during FX floating of naira, be floating of, by the time they do, a lot of companies suffer a lot of losses. Then after that time, now those companies don't seem to stabilize because FX don't not be say it don't stabilize film, but at least there is the difference compared to where it was, and there's also means you can use it to plan. You know, say okay, approximately 1,500. That was not like that 2 years ago when they came in. So that one don't help company stable now. Now people now need to stable. Unfortunately, the main sector is supposed to drive stability. When we put food for our table, the agricultural sector, they suffer for its own, which have to deal with inflation, rising cost of living, cost of transportation, and everything add up to come make food stocks they very expensive. You know, if you say that Tinubu cost that one, because now the global oil price, which we not get control over, now bring us enter that part. But as a government, you also supposed plan means whereby your people no go suffer so much from those oil, the oil crisis when happen globally. If you meet, you know, say EU they meet, even every country meet to look how can we help our people. But up to this moment, the only meet when we hear now, I say, oh, they will give us CNG buses too. And I ask myself, how many cars they use CNG bus? They use CMG for their car. So now the major challenge when we say it look like say this economy get things, this reform get people when they enjoy and it get people when they suffer. So the whole idea about reform is you will get people when go enjoy, you will get people when go suffer. But the main people when reform supposed to target now the downtrodden. Unfortunately, as it is now, that reform, which government you don't agree, you never reach their side. But maybe you never can say it will reach very soon.
Okay, so one of the things will make me to ask you this question. Remember, just like you talk, one of the reasons we make one of the things President Bola Ahmed Tinubu talk during this removal of subsidy, the agreement. I say most of the money then wouldn't come off for subsidy. Say then go use them, we go build roads, we go do hospitals, we go do schools. But as President Tinubu enter inside government, the school fees of almost all tertiary institutions increase. I'm sure you know that. The hospitals, I don't know whether we don't see. The roads we never see. And then he's rather saying that we sent more money to the governors. So the more money we give governors, even though if we look at the way the FAC allocation used the federal government, they get more share for the FAC than the states and the local government. So is it enough for us to blame the governors alone and exonerate the federal government from any blame? Or should we also still hold the federal government accountable for waiting make whenever they see those things so they say they will carry the subsidy money do as they use do?
They say in the land of a blind, a one man eye and be king. So what are they trying to say? They say, if you look at federal government, you go even see waiting they say they want to take their money do. Even if they not finish the road, even if they not do competitive bidding, even if they not do whatever, you go see say government, federal government, say, oh, we they build this road, we they build this road, we don't start work for this road, we don't start work for this road. Look state government, look Lagos State, precious where you dey. Lagos State don't become a pothole state. Nothing they happen again. All our road don't bad, even reach major area when shame not supposed to allow us make them. Place like
inside
Ozumba.
the heart of Ikeja, our capital, road bad.
Well, I never even go Ozumba. The road when
Ozumba
they lead to Lekki, it be like saying a death trap. People car the damage, and yet people they pay taxes. So that for me, that's why if you go see local government, I don't know about your own. Your own local government, you don't see any new road when they don't do from all this allocation when they get. So that we say with the exonerated federal government, but when they say if the state government they even do small, and you know say when it comes to infrastructure, it a create job.
Yes.
Because most of the Nigerians when we get now unskilled, we have more unskilled than skilled. Now then they work for all these construction sites. So unfortunately, yes, you go blame federal government, but the last chunk of the blame, they to state government and local government. They have not done well with the kind of allocation when they don't receive. Now my own submission be that. I know since federal government don't do well, but you go see what they try to do, whether they in politics they take do them or whatever. You go see Minister of Work, they go say, oh, we don't go. You they see Winston Wike, they commission road every day. for Abuja. You see some governor of Kaduna State, you see say they do. But when you look at some states, despite their location, now to they come state, they sing say on your mandate we stand.
Now national anthem, sub-national anthem. Sub-national, no good.
Even the new national anthem, some of us never feel this Sabiam. Talk less of we'll come to learn on your mandate.
Okay. All right. So plenty of questions they will go ask around this economy matter, especially because of the way people with the government and government agencies them they use the ICAM just within the week. By Ononoga talk say person where they receive 60,000 naira for Nigeria. Daniel Boala, your brother, sorry. It talks say person where they receive 60,000 naira for Nigeria, they better and they live a better life than person where live where Jackpa go abroad. And a lot of Nigerians abroad don't make the analysis. Talk say, well, my cleaner, as a cleaner for abroad, as person where they watch people bomb or help, what do they call those people? Caregivers them. And they receive XYZ amounts. I feel even save up to £1,000 in a month. Please, after my taxes, please show me which Nigerian 60,000 naira enna go fit save to that amount. So as person when be sabi financial market and finances matter, you think say the life of an average Nigerian where they earn like 7, we could not even talking 60,000, make we increase them to 70,000. Do you think the life of the average Nigerian receiving 70,000 naira is way better than the Nigerian that has jackpot and left Nigeria? And why so? Based on waiting government talk.
I know jackpot.
So you don't know. No, you know. You know.
Is there sometimes you're not supposed to talk? Because waiting be $60, waiting be 60,000. If you do current exchange rates today, how much be 60,000? Now waiting those people when they are abroad, they take buy donuts. Now waiting people they abroad, the money they call, how much be 60,000 precious? If you say they earn 60,000, how much be 60,000 for dollar? At today's exchange rate, how much? So now $40.
Hell.
So $40. That one nine. As I just see the $40 now, I just remember. Say sometime when you go about the money when you go pay for trolley, when you go push by yourself, now about $40.
Now they like money when you tip person self abroad.
Exactly. $40. I mean, if somebody there abroad saying they earn $40 in a month, is enough happen.
So why a government official would talk like that? Did they actually talk to gaslight Nigerians, or did they talk because they actually live? Some people they talk say they're very detached from the reality of Nigerians.
You know, Boala need to talk. You don't see since they hit him for Al Jazeera, he never talked for a while. So maybe he needed to talk to us. So that's why he did what he did. So he don't talk now. But who in talk help? Who in talk help? Who listen to Boala? For that same interview, Boala they tell us they don't sue Al Jazeera. And that the matter they caught for London. Why no they caught for Nigeria? So some people need to talk. We don't understand. That waiting me Buhari bring and come. Now to talk now.
Buhari abi Tinubu.
Oh, Tinubu. Now the same man, he say, look, he get people when he be they talk for this country. We're not supposed to take their words serious.
Okay.
Daniel Boala now one of
I
them.
hope say our first lady not be one of
but
those.
But it's very insensitive to the needs of Nigeria. Because even if you are earning 500,000 naira in Nigeria, every month you are earning 500,000 naira, and we do it by instead of let's say 1,400. What you are actually earning in a month is $357.
And I can almost swear to you that if you're a family of 4, they not even carry you for the month.
Why I want to carry you? That one, it cannot happen. Now, students, when they do part-time job, they even earn past $357 in a week.
So that means
talk?
while alive for that one. But I hope say when you talk, say there's some people if you say they're not supposed to talk. I hope our first lady know for that part, because our first lady don't come.
No,
our first lady don't heal her business. Saying a little
I know this. I know they, won't say anything about Afole. I know. I think you say if you be like pay that time,
Madam Patience.
Patient Jonathan, we always twist whatever he said. I know that she say akara, corn,
kuli.
and maybe
no, the idea. Let
kuli.
I tell you what's happened, because I get the evidence. Say she give people empowerment, 50,000 naira empowerment. Say go fee help them start small businesses, like to do akara, to begin akara business, to begin kuli, to roast corn business. And people are saying in present day Nigeria, 50,000 naira go fit help you start akara business. It go fit help you start kuli business. It go fit help you start corn business. And how much of a living can you make from that money?
But one woman tell us of this, saying they made 2.5 million.
I get evidence. Business. The woman don't come talk saying a lie, say she be they do content. Make her show you evidence. Don't worry. Before you talk that one, make her show you evidence. Because I almost been they doubt the fact if that one ever did possible for this life. Say person go make that kind of amount of money through corn business. But the woman don't apologize to Nigerians. Can't they even beg for help? So may they help her. Saying a lie, she lied. She was only doing
content. She waiting she
talk. Say she do.
But the whole idea of the akara, kuli and whatever, I think he's talking about the entrepreneurship nature of Nigerians.
Yes.
But maybe in that context, I mean, he didn't put it well, but he started talking about smaller business. And I tell you, the life wire of the present Nigeria economy are small businesses. So I get the context, but maybe, we Nigerians, we say, when we look for where to hang you, when you give us opportunity, we go hang you. But the president too not help to, he can't call like yala akara.
No, so, but the thing not be about hanging. The thing about the amount of money where you give people, 50,000 naira. And you're bold to say that that's enough. And that's now what's it making you the person where they're in front of money? Now make I ask you, from your analysis of the Nigerian small and medium scale businesses,
50,000 naira start any business in Nigeria.
Can it start?
Depending on the scale when you want. Depending on the scale when you want to do them. Depending on the scale when you want
enough for it to be an empowerment. Remember, we're talking about empowerment. Empowerment means say now money where be say go start you a business where go sustain you, where you go feel grow it. So can 50,000 naira start a business?
Nobody goes. You can start a business with 50,000, but it doesn't mean that business can empower you.
Ew.
That's the truth.
Why?
It could be a business whereby you start just to make for survivor. Because the guy, when they sell pure water, how much be a bag of pure water? So it can be that he need that money just to buy that pure water, sell, go buy that one, sell, go buy that one. But not for survivor. So that's what I think.
So you know go feed family, you know go take care of children, you know go do any of those.
Oh, come on. Just already you just talk and say at a point government increase fee for WAEC by 50,000.
They just increase them yesterday. People can't shout, they can't reduce them. It been there 27,000, they can't increase them to 50,000. Can't forget say a minimum wage na 70,000. Because who they earn 70,000 go pay 50,000 naira for WAEC fee.
Exactly.
All right. Sir.
So the government, they might challenge with them, be say they know they think through before they throw to us. And it's unfortunate we have somebody that is supposed to be a Democrat, supposedly, because he has prided himself as being a Democrat that fought for the current dispensation that we are enjoying. And that was why he used that slogan, Emiloko, it's my turn. So, but it's what it is. We move.
So, in your opinion, do you think that people in government, not just this administration, including for other administrations, if you say get away, or sometimes they detach from the realities of the real people who they govern?
It's obvious. It has always happened. Even the one when be activists, when they enter government. You know, to NUPRC, you see my comrade governor. When he fight, says subsidy must not go. So when he enter house, now they shall say remove subsidy. It's a scam.
All right, sir. So let's get down to one of the biggest scandals we don't happen for Nigeria recently, and that na the Gbaja Gates. Not vex, so as I mentioned this one. First of all, let's visit the Gbaja Gates. Now, it be like say don't they double Gbaja Gates. One a fake agency, one a fake law. The fake law on just come out today, but the fake agency on, let's even get to it. This agency, with all, I'm sure you've read everything about it, so let me not take you around the huddle of the scenario we for the matter. Is it possible say such an agency go exist? You did very aware of Nigerian budget. I know say you be person will be say don't study our budgets over the years. Is it possible that that kind of agency may exist and be fake and make its way into our budgets for inside Nigeria? Tell us how the process of budgets implementation, I mean budgets passing and all of those we go fit make them day impossible, sir.
There's nothing impossible in Nigeria. This question is the answer them today.
Wow.
You know that Nigeria and they fulfill scripture. With man it's impossible, but with God all things are possible.
So with Nigeria, all things are possible.
All things are possible. Everything is possible. Because our budgeting system need to be overhauled. A situation whereby you present a budget of 13 trillion and your revenue is 1 trillion, how will it fly? So what you see is that people will just give the person, knowing that fully well that your money cannot finish that project. So they said, oh, this is where your money took you to. And then they divide the remaining one. So we've not really have budget in this country. We've never been now we run about 3 budgets almost at the same time. Now budget be that.
Here? What's the implication of running different budgets at the same time?
What's the implication?
Yes, sir.
It's simple now. That year, what me the exchange rate? The second year, what me the exchange rate? The project variation between that time and now not the same. So there's a lot of things that we do that should not be had. So I'm not surprised. I blame the National Assembly because they are not doing their oversight function. If money was released like this man said, how did you get to release the money? But precious,
sir?
Like I said, with Nigeria, everything is possible. You remember budget padding?
If side this government, a lot of budget padding still there. Is there a particular agency where they in charge of horticulture and all that, where they give plenty money, then put plenty money for their budgets? Guess what in the money they for? To buy things, cars for traditional rulers. But now for horticultural budgets, now they inside. I don't know.
So our budget system is flawed. It's very flawed. That's all I can say. It's very flawed. It's not open to debate. It's very flawed.
So looking at the process, okay, I'm sorry to say, the man mentioned something about a 27 point something billion naira kickoff fund. A lot of people and media houses never pay attention to that money where the man mentioned. 27 billion naira. What does it mean? Say we carry that kind of money, give a fake agency as a kickoff fund at a time when Nigerians suffer. If that statement by that man turned out to be true.
Yeah, pressure. One thing we know, this matter they court. So court will expose a lot of things go here. But we need to analyze it based on the interview when the man give. So is it possible? It's very possible. Because you have a legislator that does not perform their overhead function. If they have done it, they would have discovered a fake agency. That is the truth. So will we continue to suffer? Yes. Why? Because those people that are supposed to be check and balance have become the balance and the check.
Then when you look at the check and balances, those same people are supposed to check and balance. They don't shout. There's some senators we don't shout now. Say none of the budget under President Tinubu don't ever implemented. What does it mean? Say we never ever implement any of our budget, but budgets we get to do with the core need of government in terms of money for National Assembly, money for Aso Rock, all of those ones they implement them. To the extent that Aso Rock money, they fully implemented, but that of defense, not just about 7% now we give them. At the time when we did on a war.
Like I say, our budget system is flawed. So we do budget before we begin to look for cash backing. Every budget must have a cash backing. So most of our budgets are white elephant projects because we don't even have the resources to do them.
But most of them would they borrow to complete them because part of waiting they talk for inside the budget, saying they go borrow to finance the budget. So when they borrow
How do you borrow
finance them?
You see, the challenge is that once you borrow, they create debt hole. What I always say is that the budget, if you pass it, the route, can that road be able to generate that budget? It's possible if you do the right thing. So we should always look at how economic variable a project is before we make provision for it in the budget. That is my take.
Okay, so going back to talk about the work of the budget, is it fair that most of our budgets have not been implemented? And what would be the ideal thing what we're supposed to do when we get budgets over time, when they lap over each other? Sir?
Have there ever been a budget that has been implemented in Nigeria?
There has never been?
Since the advent of civilian regime.
Are you serious? Have you seen a budget that never ever implemented any budget?
Of course, Obasanjo just tried to maintain that year end. There was never an implementation.
So now just normal thing all of us they do. So that means they unique to president.
It has become a ritual. It has become a ritual. Yes, it's not about Tinubu administration. Somebody is saying Buhari is better than Tinubu. How? Buhari brought us to where we are today.
We'll go come to that side. We'll never reach that junction. When we reach that junction, I go bring you in. We'll never reach that junction. Now let's look at the borrowing where we say the government they spend money, they borrow. People don't look and say this government for World Bank alone, it remains small. Make this government borrow past waiting. It be say Buhari government don't borrow throughout for World Bank in 8 years, in just 3 years. Just more remain. But if you look at the total money where they don't borrow, generally, they don't surpass waiting Buhari don't borrow throughout. They don't surpass waiting Jonathan don't borrow throughout. Waiting it mean. People they talk say Buhari borrow, he use the money finance subsidy because you know what many Nigerians suffer. But this borrowing, we need the finance subsidy. So where the money they go? Now we're not financing subsidy. We're not implementing our budget to its fullest. Where exactly the money they go? What do you think about the different borrowing?
With the build infrastructure.
Which one and which one, sir?
Coastal Road.
The one with flood there, be sir.
Coastal Road.
Not the only Coastal Road. Not only Coastal Road infrastructure. Be waiting to go suppose pride on.
But as you tell Lagos, that's why I tell you.
No, tell me the one will go affect my village or River State.
There is now that they don't do na Port Harcourt roads. It's been handled by private sector. That's why I said government everywhere in the world have realized that they don't have enough money to deal with such issue. So they give it to private sector, build and operate.
So they use taxes to collect their money.
Exactly. And after some time, you collect it from the person.
So this particular administration now, what would you say they have been doing with the monies they've borrowed? First of all, what's your take on the total amount this administration has borrowed so far versus waiting they don't use them do or achieve?
President, say me, I always tell say borrowing not be problem.
Yes, you talk that one.
Now what you use them do?
Now what's make me to ask you, say, what do you think about waiting they don't borrow versus waiting they on ground when they don't use them do? Why you smile when I say they on ground? See the ground?
Well, I can't relate what they've been borrowing with what is on ground. That's the truth. The difference is like day and night. I can't relate.
So waiting with the borrow, the amount of
because
money
I'm not seeing social investment.
With waiting we don't use and do. Not tally waiting with waiting there on the ground.
It's not only that I not tally waiting we don't use and do. We never even use them.
Yeah.
How much have we invested in social investment, Precious? How much have we invested in healthcare? What about the food for children? Are we still doing it?
They say we spent how many billion? Over 500 billion to give the poor of the poorest some number of households money, even though say we know
conditional cash transfer. Even now they don't give us again. World Bank don't give us on that one again. Same we take transfer to poor people. How many poor people come when come me to say this project saved me? The politician hijack them. Conditional cash transfer can succeed in a developed economy. That's my take.
So do you think that people who are accusing this administration of relooting the borrowed funds or looting the borrowed funds may be right to say so? If you don't talk, I'm not saying you don't see any tangible thing on ground, we didn't carry the borrowed money, then do.
Looting the borrowed form. I don't know about that, but what I know is that where we are today, there was a government that was there. They are better than they were doing far, far better than where we are today.
That would be the government of Muhammadu Buhari. So you think that Muhammadu Buhari's administration did better with our borrowing and the implementation of the money with the borrow pass? You know, speak in clear terms now. I beg. Are you saying that
Muhammad Buhari is the worst president we ever had in Nigeria.
Buhari borrowed, and we saw the things he did with the borrowing. At least the things were not this hard.
What did he do? What did Buhari do?
He paid
what
subsidy.
Did Buhari do?
He paid subsidy.
Then
at least we did not have to buy fuel for this price. And cost of living, no, they this expensive.
But now we are suffering. His subsidy should have gone since it's a condi
pipe. Okay, now that we're not paying the subsidy, we have borrowed 3 times more than we Buhari borrowed. What have we done with the fund? That's exactly the question I asked you. What have we done with that money?
If you look at Buhari borrowing was short term. The one that we have borrowed now is long term.
Which is even worse.
Short term is worse.
Because I feel we jeopardize our future for longer term, which is worse.
No. First term,
let me give you a practical example. 2 different loans where you say I will give you a practical example. One, now the one where you say one loan where they tied to IMF and all that, where they talk say part of the terms for that loan. Now say they go make sure say they increase telecom taxes, increase taxes on drinks and beverages and some other these things. Now the condition when they give us that loan. Is it fair that IMF that is giving us the loan is dictating to the government on how to tax people that are already overtaxed? That's one question.
He'll pay the piper dictate.
So must we take a loan like that? Pressure, sir.
A beggar has no choice.
Oh, wow.
A beggar have no choice.
Okay, then let me take you to loan number 2. Make I play you a short video by one, I don't forget his real name, but a young man where they known as online banker. He break down our Abu Dhabi loan. Listen to it.
Nigeria is walking into more debt. A few days ago, Bloomberg reported that Nigeria had drawn about $1.5 billion out of the $5 billion from the UAE bank. You might not have heard of this, but calm down. Let me explain. As at March of this year, the president wrote to the Senate to approve this $5 billion loan. This loan is not like every other regular loan that the government has been taking. The loan is known as a TRS loan, a total return swap. A TRS is a financial derivative contract where one party, the receiver, gains economic exposure of underlying assets without really owning it. In exchange, the receiver pays the payer a regular fixed or floating interest and absorbs any depreciation in assets. Big grammar. Let me break it down for you. In this type of loan, you will pledge a collateral. For example, if I'm going to borrow and I pledge my car, and all the money that my car will be generating, maybe my car does Uber and taxi and all those things, at a fixed interest rate. Let's say it's 5% that is the interest rate. If anything happens to my car and the value of the asset depreciates below what was promised as pledge, I will go and add more collateral. I can add another car or add my house. In this case, Nigeria pledged $6.7 billion of its assets, about 133% of the loan amount. And the loan is going to mature in 2032. This is being financed by this bank, the First Abu Dhabi Bank. Now, these government securities of 6.7 billion are bonds. So all the more interest that will be coming from those bonds and all will be going to that bank. And if the value of that bond drops, or interest rates goes up, or the value of the naira depreciates, Nigeria will look for more collateral and give to the bank. Due to the nature of this loan, Fitch warned Nigeria about the risk about that loan. Also, IMF warned about the loan because of the risk that is associated with that kind of loan. Because if there is any uncertainty in Nigeria, the government would need to go and take more things and pledge as collateral. You can read what the IMF said here. It said, our view is that these transactions carry risk and are usually opaque. They are not very transparent when you review them for the terms of the loan across different countries that they've reviewed. The government has said that this loan is to pay down more expensive loans and build critical infrastructure. We're already spending almost 50% of our revenue on servicing loans, and we are still taking more. Our debt keeps rising, but the country's productivity is not. That is my concern. Let me hear your thoughts about this in the comment section. Hey, be good, take care. This is Online Banker.
All right. Now, you don't see how dicey that loan day. Do you still think it's wise that we should go this kind of a borrowing?
Unfortunately, I don't even think we should have even had it in the first place. So it's not whether it's wise to go this time, but we are not supposed to have it. Like rightly pointed, the IMF have warned us. The World Bank has warned us on the type of loan, and their history to say this type of loan has caused more problem to money to most of the nation. So it's a no-brainer. We are not even supposed to talk. It's not a good loan. When you see, it's the same thing that we complain about Ponzi scheme. When you say you continue to collect from this, pay to this, collect from this, pay to this, collect from this, pay to this. At the end of the day, when one or two people want this money at the same time, what will happen? The scheme goes collapse. So these are our own now. We collect, we take our collateral, we take our asset as collateral. But once that asset go down beyond what they want, then go come say, okay, make we take that, bring that asset again. Add another asset to that asset.
Remember that one of our assets we they tied to this loan, now foreign reserve. You know, so they hail our foreign reserve say they go higher. It they tied to this particular loan. And that's the danger. And that's one of the complaints people are making. You know, when you say that this administration has fared way better than Buhari administration, did Buhari administration go into this kind of dangerous borrowing?
No, you can't compare them with Buhari because Buhari administration was more precious. Let's not go there. You hear about the 700 and something houses, the kind of monumental corruption that was done.
Have you seen the ones that are taking place under this administration, sir? For you to know.
We will not know until the end, but so let's deal with the one that we have known.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So going back,
no administration
going back again. Please, I'm so sorry that I'm disturbing you over this because it's very important me Nigerians understand exactly what's in the BC then they face for inside this administration. This same administration don't tell us, say, in fact, as at August last year, and when President Tinubu tell us, say, we don't meet our financial target, our revenue targets for 2025. And at that time, he mentioned that non-oil, now we use meter target for 2025 as at August. If in an administration where we consistently beat our revenue generation, why do we still have to borrow so much if we continue to, overshoot our revenue generation?
I like what you thought. Say, why do we have to borrow so much? Not that we shouldn't borrow, even if we have overshoot our revenue.
Yes, sir, exactly. No, I didn't say not borrow at all. Yes, sir.
But why are we borrowing so much? Because we have politicians as leaders rather than statesmen. Politicians are thinking about the next election. He's thinking of what he would do for the next election. He's not thinking of the future of the country. So they want to borrow to create a name for themselves, not to create a name for the country. That is our major challenge as we are now. Ordinary President Tinubu should not be borrowing the way they are borrowing, but he's trying to create a name for himself. And that, for me, is a death trap.
All right, Nigerians, phone lines are open. I'd like you to jump in on the conversation if you have. I know you have a lot of questions to ask Oga Mukhtar. So, make we go visit Gbajabiamila too. No vex. The explosive way BC come out this afternoon, permit me to please read it out in its entirety to Nigerians made in here because that matter long well so that they can go see them. So according to People's Gazette, they say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's chief of staff, Gbajabiamila, illegally, according to them, cornered tens of billions, in fact, to the tune of 54 billion naira in oil and gas, reportedly from Nigeria's thriving regulatory commission, after citing a fake law for the president's approval. Now, this according to documents with them, they say People's Gazette, them cite them. And the worst part, they say when they cite these documents and then get to ask presidency, Bayonanoga defend them, say the president gets rights, in be the commander-in-chief, in get right to do anything where he say he won't do. Even though say the laws where he say they cite, no give the president the approval to do this thing where he say he do, or to even they regulate, they collect any amount of money from this particular sector where he say collect. Now I'm going through the case. It says, weeks after Mr. Tinubu took the oath of office in 2023, his chief of staff began canvassing for money, knocking on the doors of highly lucrative agencies. He visits the FIRS, now NIRS. He visits the Maritime NIMASA. He visits the Customs Office, then including the NUPRC, where he say he mandates them, say out of the 4% of the money of their revenue, where he say they're supposed get 4% of it. So when they split that 4% into 2.5% and a 1.5%, and made them make sure say they remit the 1.5%. Now that 1.5% of all the money where he say they make under that year or the year in view for the administration was about 54 billion naira, and Gbajabiamila was said to have asked that money be remitted. Now, quoting them, they said the president had directed that the budget office and the accountant general of the federation implement the approval in paragraph 2A for the memo where BC sent to them, quoting the money. This letter was sent to the commission on the 4th of July 2023. President Tinubu was sworn in on the 29th of May 2023. So barely a month after his swearing in, 9 in chief of staff sent these memos to the different agencies, including this NUPRC. So Gbajabiamila justified his request by citing a section of the Petroleum Industry Act 2023 to support his directive. The authority to collect these fees is vested in Statute Section 24, subsection 2C of the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA 2023. However, the specific percentage collectible is subject to President's approval. So he quote the law. No, he said the law no put a percentage where he say the president go or anything. He can't say this percentage they subject to the president. Anyhow, we hungry the president. Now, checks by the Gazette, according to them, reveal that the section contains language that does not in any way correlate with the authorization to claim tens of billions of naira from the nation's coffers, as reflected in the letter that Gbajabiamila sent. So, quoting Gazette more, they said the source of the commission fund shall be as follows. C, cost of collection by the commission, that is cost of the way they use collect the money, stated that the PIA 2023 section 24 subsection 2C that Gbajabiamila cited in a letter to the Ministry of Finance, and of course directed to the Accountant General of the Federation to lay claim to that amount of money, which is 54 billion. Now, when asked for comments, the presidency defended Gbajabiamila, saying he only carried out the president's instructions and that the president has the right to request for anything he wants to request for as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Now, further checks by the Gazette, according to them, showed that even the president lacked such powers to direct the NUPRC's revenue accrual and capital expenditure appropriation. He no get the power to do what they say do. The responsibility was assigned to the National Assembly under Section 24, subsection 1 of the Petroleum Industry Act 2023, stating that the Commission shall maintain a fund into which money accruing to the Commission shall be paid, and all expenditures of the Commission shall be subject to appropriation by the National Assembly, not subject to the President's directive, as Gbajabiamila sent to the House. So the president, according to the law, has no business with directing how the cost of collection in shared revenue, let alone laying claims to its 1.5%. So the cost of collection, which was 98 billion in 2022, before this administration, of course, doubled, significantly grew to 145 billion naira under President Tinubu's administration, which means that 1.4% of that entire 4% now will be 54 billion naira. Mr. Gbajabiamila has been, of course, implicated in corruption scandals across borders, including, not me right, the US, where he was disbarred, then come out in cap for bar, say you know the lawyer again, because they collect money of a client wrong, according to waiting their rights, not the right time. Then for months, Gbajabiamila ignored summons from the state bar to answer questions regarding the theft. That is the stealing of the money. That's not the right time, not the right time. He subsequently stopped paying his membership fee after his clients reported him to the bar. Now, his action led to a 5-year suspension from the bar in 2015 and ultimately led to outright termination in 2020 after the bar determined it could no longer condone Gbajabiamila's ethical lapses. The Bar Association for inside Georgia for United States, now don't come out finally. So in 2022, Gbajabiamila was accused of accepting $2 million in cash bribes as the Speaker of the House of Representatives to secure passage of the new petroleum industry bill. This bill what they talk about now, because he was the leader of the House, despite protests from host communities. Not also because I'm from Niger Delta. They say host communities, they say, this petroleum industry act be, made them not pass on the way it be. You know, they fair on the people who get the oil. But they say collect $2 million bribe to use pass the bill. That's so they write them here, not be me write them. In his latest financial scandal, the president's chief of staff is battling fraud allegations and fighting to survive a 400 million naira bribe scandal that has engulfed his political career. We forget the 48% of a 27 billion naira kickoff fund where he say the Adeyemi guy talk saying request for. We don't know whether he give him or he no give him. We don't know. Now, Ms. Adeyemi, Adeni Adeyemi, Director General of the controversial Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council, accused Mr. Gbajabiamila of collecting 400 million naira in proxy or by proxy and demanding an additional 200 million before he gave that appointment as a Director General. Now, the allegation arose after Mr. Gbajabiamila released statement to talk, say, na fake agency. All of this issue, we not get problem with these scandals. We not say government agencies, they get scandal. But Oga Mukhtar, what will they talk about? Na money, owo, at a time when Nigerians, they go through the toughest time. I don't know if you're in tune with the reality of Nigerians in terms of cost of living for Nigeria right now.
Am I not in Nigeria?
No, now you be big man, sir. If you know they do you the way they do us.
Did you
see the size, see your office, see my office, see the difference. See the difference. So if they see your office in my own, they will not say, money they talk.
See the artwork when you get behind. It cover everything. That's also book now put for you. You see
this artwork they like now actually original artwork and it film. If you touch them, it film. But you know, exactly. Not just a few dollars. And it was a gift.
He covered all the books we haven't there.
No, it was a gift by my precious boss, my former boss, whom you may know. Now he dashed me. Make her not throw away. You see, don't they throw away for me already? No problem, sir. So, what's it make her they talk about this? Because you know, most times when my Nigerians in the diaspora are calling and they talk, say, oh, if not be them, Nigerians don't say, you know, the money where they send into Nigeria, they follow, they help Nigeria and all that. And they tell them, so not only at the same money. Ask some of us within Nigeria, almost every day would they get billings. Sometimes the phone go ring, you go fear to pick up. You go see people, you go fear to pick up. Almost every day. I have never in my entire life had reason to help Nigerians like I have helped in this administration, under this administration. I don't know if it's the same with you. So at a time when Nigerians, they go through the most, now would they hear money, they waka anyhow pass. And the point is about the money with the waka. Now, the attitude of the government in responding to those money. How you take CM, sir?
It's financial recklessness, no structure.
Ew.
So, what we have seen is lack of structure. We don't have structure. So, that's why somebody can have his money. A fake agency can have money approved, where even the real agencies have not gotten enough money to run. So what you see in Nigeria is when you have a strong man in power, then the laws are strong. When you have a weak man in power, then the laws are weak. So if we have structure, if we have law, there's no how this kind of infringement will happen. It is a disgrace. It's a disaster. That's all I want to say.
No, you know, go just talk only like that. Leave. Nigerians, let me remind you that phone lines are open. Please, kindly do want to join the conversation. You can call the phone. You can't get us on WhatsApp, or you can get on direct call or you just follow the link on the pinned post and it's to bring you straight into the studio to join the conversation. Please follow the link on the pinned post and get straight into the conversation. You know, what's it make I talk this matter, or what's it make I ask you this question again? Now, because of, I know we'll talk about profligacy of this government. In no day like say other government, they need to spend money anyhow. But as a government, where be say, say, there hasn't been a time that things have been this hard for Nigerians. Should government be spending money the manner with the way that they spend money right now?
No, totally no. If you look at the convoys, I've said it, you say we should tie our bets, but you use our money. State governors, you see their convoy. You need to see when President Tinubu comes to Lagos. You see the convoy.
Does that show the convoy of a president whose country, whose citizens are going through a lot, sir?
Not at all. That's why when you go to the World Bank or you go to IMF, you are begging for debt forgiveness. They tell you you don't need debt forgiveness because you are okay.
Hell. So because of the life where would they live, now make if you go IMF, go beg them money, tell them say, "Mona forgive the one who don't borrow." They go say, "No, I don't need them."
Yeah. So that's where we are.
I still get a lot of things, so I want to ask concerning this because it is very painful. So, what is the ideal thing this administration would have been doing, especially if you look at the things, how they don't try to make comfortable, life comfortable for themselves and not the people where they, where they serve. For instance, we pay the National Assembly the money we're paying them. Should we be paying the, executives the number of allowances?
That's a constitutional matter. That's a constitutional matter. It's not in the hand of the federal government. There's independence. Each sector of Nigeria economy have their independency. So the legislators that are a major problem. They've not been able to carry out their oversight function very well. And they sit down there, a lot of things go on. That's what I have to say.
All right, make I take you straight to, because we will still come back to Tinubu. Naim be the person. But is it fair that when people are asking presidents, when people are holding President Tinubu accountable, and his people defend and say that no, they should hold others responsible and not him, and then we always blame other administrations. But when it was time for other administrations like Jonathan, he held them accountable, and he said the buck stopped at the table of those people. So is it fair that right now the buck had to be passed to others and not him, sir?
The buck had to be passed to him. He has to take responsibility. That's the truth. So let's forget about all the political noise they are making about. We elected him to solve problem. We cannot celebrate when he solves problem. So for me, I don't think
those an excuse.
It's an excuse, my dear.
Should Nigerians hold the president accountable for promising that if we don't give him lights, if he doesn't give us lights, we should not vote for him? But he can't really bring the lights.
We should hold him accountable, but unfortunately, the same Nigerians will be there the day he comes, dancing the same thing, telling him on your mandate we stand.
All right, so let me go straight to that interview by Hadi Sirika. Nigerians, phone lines are still open, please. Let me go straight to that interview with Hadi Sirika this morning. Listen to what he said.
Because of action or inaction of President Muhammadu Buhari, the country has been plunged into hardship. I don't want to get dragged into that debate, but the truth of the matter is that President Buhari had done extremely very well on the economy. And I'm not an economist, but I do know so because I've been in the country, I've been in the government, I know so, and I've seen that the country at the time was in a good state of both the economy and the social issues within the country.
Do you feel his administration left resources to work with? I mean, was Nigeria a stable? Because you said the economy was good. In your view, was it a stable, flourishing nation under his administration?
Well, I believe so. I do. I do believe so. I do believe that he has led a country that is flourishing. And because I am not President Muhammadu Buhari, and neither am I President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, really comment on the policies that they have made. I don't think it's been fair for me to sit down and make a critique of why President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did this or not. But I want to say categorically that these policies by President Muhammadu Buhari, I believe, are policies of our party. And the policies that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is pursuing are policies of our party. So as an APC person, I do believe that they are not doing things, like I said, just off the top of their head, to inflict injury on the country. No, I don't think so. I think they're being advised of the exigencies of that time or of their time and to take a decision that is good for them.
Did you hear what he said, sir?
You see, it's only in Nigeria people like Adi Krishka is still talking. She's been in jail by now. Somebody that openly, Ethiopia Air told us what he did. It was not about anything. A man that is standing in charge of multiple corruption, and yet he has the oil country on national television to even come out to talk about corruption, about what they did, when we all know how much was involved. It's a pity that we forget so early because he's a member of APC. You know the popular slogan, belong to APC, go and sin no more. Your sins are forgiven. It's bad. It's very bad. Buhari was the worst president economically in the history of Nigeria.
He was? Why do you say that? What are the indices?
Indices are there, precious.
Where them?
Do we need any indices? Do you need any indices?
We need to see. You cannot accuse him without showing us proof.
The number of poverty at when he came in and when he was leaving were ×2. We're double.
But under Tinubu's administration, just in 3 years, it's almost getting to almost a number. He left with 80,000 poor and vulnerable. But right now, we have about 140 Nigerians that are very poor and vulnerable too. So from 80,000 to 104, almost doubling in less than 3 years.
I'm not supporting that Tinubu itself have done very well in terms of dealing with the vulnerable. But I'm saying that it was under Buhari time that we have multiple dimension poverty. They have to create that slogan for us.
Multidimensional poverty.
Yes. So
but we still have multidimensional poverty under Tinubu now.
We still have it, but
it started with Buhari's tenure, you're saying?
It started with Buhari's tenure. Buhari was paying for subsidy, was borrowing to pay for salary. Buhari was one president that had no economy sense in the fact that when he came to power, they told him then that our currency was overpriced. Buhari refused. At that time, people said the right price of currency was 250. Buhari refused till our currency got to 400 before he said they can do that. It's under Buhari that we saw a lot of people like this talking. Come on. Let's call it spell a spell. Buhari did not do well economically compared to what Tinubu have been able to achieve thus far.
What has Tinubu achieved that Buhari would have achieved but he didn't achieve, sir?
Reform.
What are the reforms?
The subsidy removal.
Buhari said he didn't.
You may not like it.
Sir, I'm coming, sir. Buhari said he did not remove those subsidies because he knew it would impoverish Nigerians. That's what he said. And I give you an indices. I'm coming, sir. I'm coming.
Did it impoverish Nigeria?
I'm coming, sir.
When it didn't,
but again, if you look at it, there is almost no country in the world that does not subsidize a thing or more or two for their citizens. Why should Nigerians not subsidize fuel for Nigerians?
You do not. There's no country in the world that subsidizes their major income source. Their major source of income. You subsidize it. How are you going to grow?
But that major source of income is the number one energy provider in Nigeria, in the world. And energy is key to the sustainability of your citizens. So if you don't subsidize, how can you be where would
Abu
Dhabi
Precious,
no, let me give
Precious,
example. United
remember
Arab
that
Emirates,
we had this conversation.
United Arab Emirates, they subsidize petroleum products for their people. They know they buy them expensive, sir. You say make a name one country. I don't remember.
But if the price of petroleum in United Arab Emirates is still more expensive than the price of petroleum in Nigeria. Go and check it.
Oh, but they subsidize a lot of things for their citizens. They don't collect taxes from them. They don't pay taxes.
I said I didn't say you cannot subsidize. Okay. UAE does not subsidize their main source, which is oil. They don't subsidize it holistically. They can subsidize other sources. Good education, good healthcare. That is what we are clamoring for. Subsidy. Who did subsidy help? He made the rich more richer. If it was during subsidy, just imagine what will happen now that we have that crisis between Iran, Israel, and America. I'm sure you will not leave your house because you will not even be able to buy fuel. Fuel will be selling for 4,000 or 5,000.
Why? Because
we are not saying. Because at the point, NPC will come and tell you that we cannot import anymore.
So I'm coming, sir. So the question is the problem in the subsidy or the problem is in the corruption around the subsidy? We need to tell ourselves
because you do not have the capacity to operate subsidy. You do not even know till today. We don't even know how much fuel we consume.
Why should we not know how much? Is it my responsibility? Is it the responsibility of Nigerians to dictate how much fuel they consume?
If you have a system that has been enshrouded in corruption, the only way you can deal with that system out of it is either you remove all the civil servants, will you get a job to give to them? Then you have to look at a way that you will curtail them. And the only way you can curtail these people that are eating fat. Are you hearing the trial of the NNPC? Oh, Jesus.
Oh dear. Mr. Musa, can you hear me? Are you there, sir? Are you there, sir, Mr. Mukhtar? Can you hear me? Oh, goodness me. I don't want this network to go bad. Mr. Mukhtar, can you hear me, sir? What is going on? We cannot hear you. So if you can hear me, we can't hear you, and I don't know why we can't hear you. Can you hear me, Mr. Mukhtar? Can you hear me, Mr. Mukhtar? I don't know what's going on, but I do hope that he can rejoin us when he hears us. Okay, I take this message from CJOJ. She says, why are opposition parties not rejecting the July CVR deadline when the Electoral Act says it should not stop before 90 days to the election? Honestly speaking, this is one of the reasons I think that the opposition parties are not doing enough. All of them, they need to do enough. Things where they're supposed to cry for, shout for, shut down for. Reasons where they get to shut down, they no go shut down. The one where they don't get to shut down, they go make noise. So it can't be like say they only fight for selfish interest. If you want to shout, this is the reason that you shout for. Well, who am I? So CJOJ, you're really very correct. If the Constitution says otherwise, and you do see, no matter the law, the Electoral Act or the bill, it shouldn't be higher than the Constitution. The Constitution passed any other thing entirely for this life. Let me try to get our guest back. Okay, I think he lost his connectivity. All right. So the Constitution supposed to be above any other law we will get for inside this country. And it is unfortunate when it be say, and of course, you know that this whole thing around election timetable and all of that was done with the amendment of the Electoral Act deliberately to tighten the opposition, to put them in tight corner. It was done deliberately. And that's why when it was happening and people were shouting, oh, amend it, and when I don't know why the opposition did quiet about them. They shouldn't let it sleep. They should make noise over it. But unfortunately, they are not talking. And that's very, very, very unfortunate. I see your message and your concerns are really very valid. Mr. Obisin, good evening and welcome. Thank you so much. Let me see if I can reconnect to Mr. Mukhtar. I don't know why we lost him. I do hope that he can rejoin us so that we can exhaust this conversation. Good evening, Mr. Obisin, and welcome.
Yeah, Precious, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Okay.
Welcome, sir.
Sorry, I don't know. because it looks like it was immediately I joined that we lost him. Was it because I
think that the power with your network come out our own network?
It can't be so now.
I'm just joking.
Anyway, so how are you? We come back again.
Yes.
I first of all, that interview with the guy that put on UAE whatever clothing, is it recently with Hadi Sirika?
This morning. It was this morning. Hadi Sirika. Yes, it was this morning.
It was this morning.
Buhari's 1 year death anniversary. Yes.
So what did they want to do? Because I saw posthumous whatever. What did they want to confirm?
Oh yeah, they're having a program. I think actually Buhari is also in Abuja. They're having like a posthumous celebration for him and all of that.
On what? That he did what?
I wonder. No. I beg your pardon. To commemorate his 1 year death anniversary, really. It should be.
I just pray, the other day I have said it. I just pray that somebody will come and strip him of presidency posthumously, in whatever they do. Because first of all, he ruined Nigeria. He was the person that started this ruining of Nigeria when he came in as military head of state. He came and overthrew nascent democracy that we had in 1984. And from that time, Nigeria started, yes, at that time, yeah, the civilian regime at that time, we cannot say they were also free from corruption. But I thought that if we had continued in that experiment, by now, Nigeria would have been, somewhere being mentioned in the Committee of Nations.
So you think that Buhari led the country backward?
Very, very backward. Him and what's his name? Babangida. He overthrew, then Babangida overthrew him, and then the downward trajectory started in Nigeria. Because when you talk about when Nigeria was good, will you attribute it to when we had the military regime? It was when the advent to pre-1984. That was, I know where I was when that coup happened, when he overthrew, So he started the nonsense that we have today because he had an agenda. And these people, all these people that served, they are insulting the sensibility and intelligence of Nigerians. Because as your guest said, because he's not where he's supposed to be in jail, that had the Sarika. And that is the same thing that the other big-mouthed terrorist called what's his name again? In the former governor of Borno State that brought Boko Haram, because they are not where they are supposed to be. Alimodu Sheriff, thank you. Because nobody has held them account to the menace, to the injustice and the iniquity they brought upon Nigeria. That's why they have mouth to be talking. This is somebody that the aviation money, he misused it. This government is a scam government. This government is a scam because
Mr. Obising, calm down first.
Yeah.
Let me explain something to you. So I didn't want to say this because I'm still trying to tighten the arrangement. So this our show is creating a partnership with a mainstream radio station in Lagos, meaning that would soon everything we're airing will be going on air in a radio station in Lagos at the same time. So NBC, I beg, help me. They control, and
so. But what is the essence? What is the essence of coming here and placating everybody?
You're not placating, but you can say what you have to say, minding your language.
How do we mind our language? How do we be diplomatic in the face of reality? How are we supposed to not talk? What is the essence of everybody's opening a TV channel and nobody's saying the truth, and then the government is causing message? The press is the fourth realm of governance. The press is the fourth realm. When you have the executive, the judiciary, the legislative that are supposed to be holding themselves to account, the press is the fourth person that is supposed to be holding the governance and the government account.
Have we not been doing that? Have we not?
We are not, because we are stifled. We are muzzled not to speak.
Well, this is Nigeria.
Now you have gone to associate yourself with. I understand, and I'm not blaming you for it, but you are the face of Nigeria that I'm seeing. You know, I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming you. So this government, from the day Buhari entered power to today, they are a scam government. Okay, because
by this government, okay, Buhari's government. Go ahead.
From Buhari to today, because Tinubu said and Buhari is him, which means he was dead and he's resurrected again.
Hey.
Yes, if Buhari is dead, then he's Buhari. Buhari is him. So he died and resurrected in the name of Tinubu, and then still slapping us from all angles of our body. This is injustice. This man messed up. Why did I say it's a scam? Precious, how do you know people who are scammers? Now they went and floated their company and put it inside, get it registered with CAC, probably. I don't know. Got an office for it in the secretary, whatever you call it, the secretariat, federal secretariat. It has an account with the CBN, which ordinarily not any companies even do not have account with CBN. And at the end of the day, it's still fake. So what do you call fake? This Hadisirika came and brought an airplane, painted it Nigerian color. And today Nigeria has no one single airplane. And he has the F-13. He can still go and put on he put on that one now so that we will say this is a pious man. Abi? He went and put on white upon white, and yet he says a white sepulchre. Because Nigerians are not, we can't hold our leaders accountable because they pauperish us so that we cannot be able to talk. When you talk, they bring a bundle of money to you and then you shut up. I mean, why are they insulting our sensibility? On your last talking point on subsidy. Just as a layman, I want to understand. I thought they said they were giving subsidy. They were doing subsidy because Nigeria was importing fuel, right? They were taking their fuel out, their petroleum out, bringing it as a fuel. Because of that, people who are doing it overseas, we had no refinery, and they were paying these people, okay, do this for us. We give you this much, subsidize the fuel. You buy it cheap, and then they sell it to us as expensive. So now that Dangote has a refinery that even if the Nigerian refineries are working, all of them put together, their output is not equal to what Dangote is producing. Why are we still talking about subsidy? Is Dangote not supposed to get the oil as cheap because he's a national?
Well,
is he not supposed to get
Dangote said he says he buys oil because most of the
oil
from where they say Buhari, he buys oil from another country. Morgan Motar is there, he will tell us. And he said, we hear that most of our oil what we get, say we don't use and borrow money, and our Buhari government, that is the one we
this is the same money. Okay, so this man that used our unfounded money the one that has not, we don't even know whether that oil will be there by the time the debt is supposed to be due for repayment or outright payment. We don't know whether the nature that brought that oil.
They die every day, so more oil go come out. They no go feel leave they no go feel leave us dry.
So we don't know whether the nature that gave us that oil, we don't know whether the nature that gave us that oil will dry up. So if the oil dries up, by the time we are supposed to finish paying the debt, then they will start selling us one by one, Abi, to offset their debt. That is why, and this is a man, some people are gathered now, say they are celebrating his death.
Oh yeah, sorry.
These are people.
Our guests don't rejoin us. No vex. Just help me hold your peace more.
Okay.
Make I talk to the guest, so I'll come back to you. Welcome back, Oga Mukhtar. No vex. Sorry, the network kicked you out. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, Mr. Mukhtar, good to see you. Thank you for your inputs.
You're welcome,
Thank you,
sir. So before we go, we look at, you don't make me, I don't even forget what to be, so we talk. We'll be talk about Buhari versus
we are
Tinubu's
talking about subsidy. Yes, whether the removal of subsidy, why Buhari did not remove subsidy.
Exactly. Buhari said he was going to impoverish the lives of Nigerians, and he didn't want to leave us impoverished.
But we're not impoverished.
Eh?
Okay.
Are we not worse off now? Are we not worse
Mukhtar,
off now?
I want you to educate me.
That we have that money.
Yes.
What are we doing with it? Go ahead.
Okay, sir.
I want you to educate me. I want you to educate me.
Yes.
This subsidy, if, let's say, under normal circumstances, Nigerian refineries were working. The two refineries in Rivers State, the one in Warri, the one in Kaduna, let's say they were working optimally, even if maybe 100 barrels a day they were producing. Did I say 100? Maybe 100,000 barrels a day they were able to produce. At the end of the day, it becomes probably 400,000. Are we, under that circumstance, is Nigeria supposed to be paying subsidy if they were working optimally?
Well, they won't be paying subsidy. Even now, we are not paying subsidy, even if they are not working optimally. Even if it's only one refinery that is working, we are not paying any subsidy. But like Precious told you, I think I listened to her trying to answer that, is the capacity of Dangote refinery about 700,000 barrels of crude every day. Now, because of our forward payment in terms of crude oil, we don't have enough crude to supply to Dangote. So Dangote sometimes import its crude from as far as the United States and the Middle East. So what happened is that crude is sold on international price. So the only advantage that Dangote has is just that fact that any crude he buys from NNPC in Nigeria, he pays in Naira instead of dollar at a fixed exchange rate, which up to this moment, we don't know what that fixed exchange rate is. They have not told us.
But I think they've even stopped the crude for Naira thing for a long time. Dangote is complaining that he doesn't get it anymore.
I think there was a time Tinubu said he should buy a Naira.
It's still there. That is still there. He still gets.
Then why is he importing more? Why is he importing enough oil now? It's not enough
because he doesn't have, the NNPC cannot give him enough to meet up his refined capacity.
Wow.
So let me ask this question. So what about all these individuals that we hear that they have oil wells? How does it play into NNPC's bulk of reserve? All these individuals that we have,
so I've told you about the forward payment, isn't it? I talked something about the forward payment. So that's what normally most of our oil.
So all these people that have individual refineries, therefore the forward payment also affected them. Are they not making money off of their wells?
Mr. Mokhtar, your network is bad. Are you getting a call? Are you getting a call, sir? Your network is bad. What did you say? We didn't hear what you said, sir.
No, I'm not getting a call. I'm trying to hear you people. I'm not hearing well. Let me log out and come back.
Okay. Okay, sir. All right, sir. Please, very important so that we can hear you. So while he's trying to rejoin, Madam B, let me quickly take a little bit of what Madam B has to say. While Mr. Mokhtar gets back to us, because it will be very important that he answers that question that you asked. Madam B, good evening and welcome.
Good afternoon, Precious. Good evening. Do you hear me?
It's evening. Oh, it should be evening where you are.
It's evening, yes.
Good evening. But it's still evening. You're welcome, ma'am.
Good evening. Thank you. How has your day been?
Well, we're still in the day.
Thank you to the guest. Now, I just a quick one, because our guest was talking about no country subsidize the main thing that brings revenue to their country.
To them, yes.
So I went to ask them Meta AI if UK subsidize any services for their citizens. Then it replied that, yeah, the UK's government subsidizes quite a lot of services for citizens and residents. So even if you know the citizen. And here are the big ones. One is healthcare, that is the NHS, and the NHS arguably is the highest recruiter of labor in the UK. Arguably, I stand to be corrected. Then there is education. There is
and education now one of a source of income.
Yes, there is transport, that is the bus fare caps, the railroads, the active travel plus local services. Then there is housing and energy. There is childcare and families. Then other BBC, council services, and the rest of it. So which one of these are the citizens of Nigeria right now
enjoying
that could necessitate somebody really thing that the citizens of that country are enjoying? The only thing that is the oil, that is the fuel subsidy. Now, if people are committing fraud with the oil subsidy, how many people have been brought to book? How many people have been sued to court? How many people have been punished for that? So instead of doing that, you leave your rich friend to now descend on the poor citizens of Nigeria.
Just help me hold on. Just help me hold on small. Mr. Mukhtar don't join us back so that he can respond to that. But make a let and respond to the question we made the response to Mr. Obison. Mr. Mukhtar, welcome back. Please kindly help us go ahead with your initial response to Mr. Obison's question, sir. Can you hear us, sir?
I can hear you now.
Yes, go ahead, please. Go ahead and respond to the question Mr. Obison asked earlier about the oil wells.
I can't even remember
Mr.
the
Obison,
question.
please repeat that question.
Well, I said, how does the individuals, since you said this, the money has been paid forward. So how does it reflect on the individuals that have oil wells? Or the individuals that we hear that have oil wells in Nigeria?
Okay, I get you now. Remember, if you're an individual, you have oil well, you sell to whoever you think you want to sell to. If you decide to sell to Dangote, you sell. If you don't decide to Dangote, you don't sell. Now, what we have seen about the oil industry is that a lot of them, Dangote was buying at a premium. What means is that they already have forward sales, people that are worth some of these their oil. They have to sell it to Dangote. They have to buy higher than that price. So Dangote itself refused to do that. Rather, it would rather import. As it stands now, because of cost of production and others, it's cheaper to import fuel into Nigeria than to even produce in Nigeria as of today with Dangote. And that is why precious, if you look at some gas stations like Mobi and others, you realize that as of today, their fuel price is lower. But one time, Dangote was selling for 1,156 naira, while these people were selling for 1,115 naira. Even if they were importing, even NNPC also was cheaper. NNPC was selling at 1,108 naira. So that is just what is the challenge.
Okay, sir. So, Madam B, please go ahead with that question you asked. Madam B, can you hear me?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, can you hear me, Precious?
Very well, Crystal. Go ahead,
so I've listed the areas that the British, for instance, subsidizes their citizens and even residents in the country. So I was asking that what exactly...
Can you repeat it for the sake of the guest, because he wasn't with us when you mentioned it, so that he can hear you.
Okay, I'm coming. Let me open it again. Okay, yeah. I said I went to ask AI, does UK subsidize any services for their citizens? And the AI said, yeah, the UK government subsidizes quite a lot of services for citizens and residents. Here are the big ones. So that means these are not the only ones. We have the healthcare, which is the NHS. We have education, transport, which includes bus fares, rail cards, active travel and local services. We have housing and energy. We have children, we have childcare and families and others. So now my question
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Me? Okay, so the question she asked is that She said you mentioned that there is no country that subsidizes their major source of income or major source of revenue generation, right? And she said she went to ask ChatGPT because she's in the UK, that what does the UK subsidize for its people? And that ChatGPT told her that UK subsidizes healthcare, subsidizes education, subsidizes energy, subsidizes quite a lot of other things.
Housing and energy, childcare, and
family and others. Now she's saying that education is one of the most major source of income for UK. Why are they subsidizing it? When you said that we cannot subsidize our major source of income.
Precious, UK major source of income, UK major source of income, you can go and check, is taxes.
It's taxes. They for tax education now.
No. Even Nigeria here, we don't tax education. And what you see in the UK is that what they use to subsidize their own citizens, the foreign students are paying ×2 of it.
And in the healthcare, because in the case of the healthcare, they are subsidizing both for foreign citizens and both for citizens. So meaning that as long as you're a resident in the UK, your healthcare is subsidized. Why?
Wait, Precious, what did I say? Is it not related? It's just amongst what you are trying to say now, because I said it that rather than subsidize our major source of income, rather we should be subsidizing social investment like healthcare and education.
Okay. Madam B, you want to follow up with that question? Madam B, can you hear me?
Okay, let me throw this question while Madam B comes up.
Go ahead. Okay.
Now that he, like what he said about the, about the oil, I'm still concentrating on that. If it is so, probably, because what I understood by what he said is even the people that own their private oil wells are still selling. Okay, so being that the government is still the primary owner of all these oil wells, I don't know how they lease it to these individuals, whether they bought them or not. Can't, for the meantime, since the government have seen that we are in this dire straits, can't the government say, okay, you know what, we're going to take over all these oil wells. We have a problem at hand. We're going to take these oil wells, keep selling, make sure that our people have a cheap oil to buy.
I can hear you, but I don't know what's wrong with my network, Jerry.
I totally agree with you, and I've said it. What we needed to do as a country in peculiar situation like what we have, which is a global challenge, was to declare a state of emergency on our oil and decide to supply more of those oils to Dangote. I totally agree with you.
So why can't the government do it? Take over all the oil wells and then start selling.
No, you cannot. You see, you cannot say it's a legitimate business. You cannot tell Chevron that you are converting their oil well. Mobil, you are converting their oil well. No, they have paid you. Remember that there's oil auctioning. They paid a certain amount for those wells. I say what government would have done is to sell them that the current emergency, you have to sell to Dangote at the international price rather than sending it outside also at the same price. But because you are doing forward payment, you also suspend your forward payment, be able to meet local demand. That's what I say we should have done. Not necessarily mean that we should not collect those oil wells from them.
No, I mean for the individuals, not for the companies, for the Nigerian individual that own the oil wells. Because if they are still making money off of what they have, and the country is not making money, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We have, just as you said, we have emergency. And if they are nationals of the country, they should understand. All of them were in cahoots when this forward sale was done.
Well, unfortunately, the government is not even telling them to do that.
All right. Okay. Interesting. Madam B, you're back here. Do you have a follow-up question? This network, no one let you. Can you hear me, ma'am? Oh dear, I don't know why. Madam B, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my own point is this. Instead of removing subsidy, why not deal with the people who were committing fraud with the subsidy? Because it's like that is our template in that country. Bandits, terrorists are killing people and displacing them. You don't deal with the bandit. Now you give them amnesty, you rehabilitate them, you send them to Mecca. But the people that are being killed and removed from their ancestral homes, you put them in IDP, they are suffering. So it is the same thing we are doing. It's the same thing we are doing now. So the subsidy is gone. The people who benefited from it, they are enjoying the largesse of the crime they committed, but the Nigerian citizens are suffering. Does it make sense? How many people have been jailed or brought to book for committing that kind of fraud against the people of Nigeria? How many?
And then the people that perpetrated all this nonsense, they are still going about granting interviews.
Exactly. So how does anybody justify that? It doesn't make any sense.
Insulting our intelligence, insulting our sensibilities, gaslighting us.
Tinubu, who was the only one that had the balls to remove subsidy. Excuse me, why not?
A terrorist will come and be giving mouth to Obi. This other one has come. Who stole the money meant for aviation improvement or development in Nigeria? Who stole the money? Gave us fake airline. Now he's granting interviews. Man,
right, disgraceful. Then arises. He's lining up for journalists to be interviewing him.
Christ.
Somebody that should be in prison. Cooling off in prison in jumpsuits.
Not my guest. Now cause this problem. I cannot not drag my guest. Oh yeah, guest oh, Mr. Mokhtar.
Yes, I agreed with them because I told you then that somebody like him should be in jail.
Yes,
I said it because
Nigeria is not benefiting anything, and we have such a wealthy country.
To be talking. I say it and I stand to be corrected. As of today data, Buhari remained the worst president economically we've ever had in this country.
Not even economically, in every strata of society, in every strata of governance.
I'm that guy at my own.
From when he became head of state as military head of state to when he died as civilian head of state, he was never to be born. He was never to be born, and talk less of being a president.
In fact,
honestly,
it was during Buhari time as a young boy.
Why can't he be mandated to return the money? I thought that was it. Why can't he be mandated to return some of the money?
And everybody else is suffering.
All of them. Why can't they be mandated if you cannot put them to jail? If you cannot put them to jail, if you don't have the balls to put them to jail, let them return the money they stole. Let them Sheriff or whatever his name is, that terrorist Boko Haram, let him return the money he stole. Let all of them. Let Gbajabiamila. Don't send them to jail. Return the money you stole.
Return the money and go to your homes.
And go home. Return the money.
And by the way, Precious, when will people from South be having gold block in Zamfara?
That's what I said.
Why would they start having gold block in Zamfara? Because this country never starts to allow. Why would somebody from Sokoto be having oil block in Niger Delta? So how many of the Niger Delta people have gold block?
Madam, what you will ask is how many kings in Niger Delta have oil block? Do they have oil block?
Where's the equity in this thing?
Let me get response, please. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Mokhtar.
I have a different opinion about it. It is auction. And when it's auction, if you are able to meet it, it becomes yours. So if tomorrow they are doing a gold buy in Zamfara and somebody from the Niger Delta is able to pay the price of it, he owns it. So that is pure government business, availability. So what we have seen in the Niger Delta is that all this oil well and all, our own people are not interested in the oil well. They are more interested in eating the crumbs.
Thank you for what you said, but I also think that because of probably the things you got to meet, the requirements you have to present to be able to qualify, it will be so high, and the only people that can meet it is these people because we know that they are the ones that have the money. They are the money bags. The people in the up north Okay, they will do whatever they will do to impoverish the people down south, especially the Niger Deltans. And as you have said, they prefer in the crumbs, but at the same time, the standard of whatever they have to provide to be able to meet the auction requirements will be too high for them not to have. But at the same time, they can come, 2, 3, 4 people can come together and meet up, even if it's one or where they all have.
Exactly, or a community, whatever.
Yeah, a community can come together, especially if it's at my backyard. If it's at our backyard.
The PIB bill has given the community right of first refusal.
Oh, so why can't they come
I'm
together?
sure that must be on paper. That must be on paper.
Madam, even if it's on paper, why can't they come together? Even if one community cannot make it, why can't 2, 3, 4 communities come together and say,
what I'm saying is that theory must be on paper. I'm not sure they actually apply anybody practically, because
of course.
No community will reject that.
Okay, of course. I mean, it's all a mess. It's so painful when you see these people who stole our money. Oh, Jesus.
You were saying something about the Hadi Sirika's case earlier, sir.
Yes, I was saying that. I was saying that somebody like Hadi Sirika should not be talking in this country. It didn't be, because here is a man that defrauded Nigeria. He has been charged, but the only reason why he has the offense to be talking at this point is because he is still claiming to be a member of APC. If Hadi Sirika is not a member of APC as he claimed to be today, his own situation would have been just the same like Nasir El-Rufai. Nasir El-Rufai, even if I'm not his fan, today whatever he's going through is because he's out of APC. His sins are remembered. So
you think that is because he left APC, that's why they remember him?
It's part of it. Look, an elder told me something a long time ago, and he said, there is no how when you have served in a government, no matter how good you are, they will dangle the paper to you. You will see something that you have done wrong that you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
All you need to do is to ask somebody like we'll call him Mr. Honest, and the most honest civil servant at that time. The man that did the report on the on the civil service. We have a name for that. His report. I've forgotten that man. That man was said to be one of the most honest civil servant we ever had. He was he was head of service. I forgot the report that said that ministries and parastatals could merge together. I've forgotten the name of that report. He was the one that did it. But he was tried for corruption, because they said he has other parties. So it just boils down to, if in Nigeria, if they want to leave you, they leave you. Once you are not on the same plate with them, they'll have something to get you in.
And this is why they are fighting tooth and nail to make sure that opposition does not come.
Remember, pressure Steve Onosoya. That man was told to be one of the most honest civil servants that we've ever had in this country. But at the point, he was tried for corruption. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay, sir.
And also, don't forget the man from your Niger Delta too, that they said he collected the wash, and that became part of what he was. Professor Tam David West.
Yes, I was going to say Tam David West, and you just mentioned it. So based on what Ms. Obisin just said, do you think that, well, you don't like to be involved in politics, but do you think that the only reason why we're not hearing more in this administration is because the administration is still in power? Do you think we're likely to hear more than the Zani Gates if this administration leaves?
Of course.
Oh, yes.
And that has been the history of Nigerian administration. You don't know how bad they are. When they're in power, they can cover up. When Buhari was in power, they say it was one of the most honest things that we've ever had. Did you ever hear anything? And most of the people that they are being caught, they are stealing, they are doing this, the Mefele, the Malami, the Hadi Sirika. Did you even have any report that they were building any house anywhere? Look, I'm not a friend of Muhammadu Buhari, but I had it on good authority that Muhammadu was a man, no matter how close you are to him. Once they tell him that you have corruption and they're able to show him evidence, you'll be fired and you'll be tried.
So how did he condone the...
So how many people did he fire?
That's what I'm saying. What happened during Muhammadu Buhari time is a lot of these things that they were doing was conceit. They bought the media like if people were precious. Nobody was reporting anything. EFCC was a toothless bulldog in every administration.
So you say they bought the media like who? I take exception, sir. Like
I said they bought all of you media people, whether you are the one, but you're all media.
I was not bought, sir. You knew me when Buhari was in power. I was talking.
But you never reported that. You never reported that Malami was building houses and school. You never told us about Emefiele building about 570-something houses.
We should have reported against Attorney General of the Federation at that time.
Okay, you get my point. So that's what is happening. I remember when there was a case against Malami was being carried by the cable newspaper about the Paris reform. How he wrote a letter to collect, for government to pay consultant fee for a money that was already agreed to be refunded to the treasury. And you are now saying you're getting the consultant that you are going to pay over $100 million.
Okay, let me ask you, maybe, Mr. Mockstar. So, given all these scenarios and having known what you know, even the ones you will not be able to say, what do you think is the way forward for Nigeria, and what do you think the opposition will do to wrestle power from these evil people?
Unfortunately, there's no opposition. Sincerely, the opposition is in disarray. They don't have a common front, because a person that is supposed to be a common rally point for the opposition is interested in being the president.
And who's that?
Have you ever thought if at 20, the last election, Atiku Abubakar, remember at a point Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi were the same party? Did you know what would have happened if Atiku Abubakar have said, okay, we agree the time for the South.
For the South.
Obi, go.
Yeah.
I will give you a vice president that will work with you. Tinubu will not be president today.
Yeah.
If Atiku had done that in 2023, you mean?
Yes.
Now.
Even in 2023.
If he does it now, it will not work. Because the opposition is in this complete disarray.
So are you saying that there is nothing the opposition can do?
Is it not? What pressures in this country? What can they do? You and he is saying that all their primaries now make it. There are moles inside those opposition parties. They are mole. PDP, who is the mole in PDP, you know. So what we have seen is really the Jagaba type of politics, which is either you kill me or I kill you. In relative terms, not killing you. So I'm not saying that. What I mean is it's fights to finish. You finish me or I finish you. And what they have seen, that they have made a template. In the history of this country, has never happened where you have the kind of governors, sitting governors, who ordinarily under the current party can win an election, and yet they are going to the APC. Even including the governor in the Southeast, one governor called Nsoludu. He's campaigning for Tinubu. Even including the action governor of Abia State.
He's campaigning for Tinubu.
He's campaigning for Tinubu.
Oh, he's campaigning for Tinubu?
Of course, he's a Tinubu person. Did you not hear when Zekari said here that the condition for allowing him to continue with Labour Party was to ensure that he supports Tinubu? Zekari said that.
What could have happened? He would have been, if he didn't support, what would have happened?
Is Labour Party a party enough?
Have you seen any party? Go, just go through it.
I didn't say this. Zekari, you can revisit our interview with Zekari.
Even this thing, Accord Party in Osun State. Have you seen Tinubu say anything about it? Did you hear Adeleke say anything deteriorating about Tinubu? He's saying as far as the state is concerned, he will be the one they should vote for. But further, they will vote for Tinubu. Remember that same arrangement was the same arrangement that happened when Obasanjo wanted the second term. So there's no opposition. The opposition is non-existent.
Let me ask, why is Tinubu, what kind of power? Anybody, first of all, in the federation, right? Every state has rights.
Why? That's why it's called Jagaba.
No, what I'm saying is, in the federation account, okay, everybody, every state has a stake. Whether you are in support of the ruling party or not, you ought to still have your emolument. You ought to still have whatever is supposed to come to your state. So why are there? Is it their fear? Is it that if they don't align with him, they're not going to get what is agreeable to their state, or what? Or if they don't align with him, they're not going to get, because whether Alex Otti aligns with him or not, he has done so well for Abians that they will give him, even if he required three times, they will give it to him.
Let me answer that your question and tell you about two decapes that decamp. The governor of Zamfara State, when he was decamping from PDP to APC, what did he say? He said because they need to be in the center so that they can have federal government present in Zamfara State. That was one. The governor of Akwa Ibom State, he said that when they were decamping from PDP to APC, he said Akwa Ibom cannot continue to not be in the center. They decamp. The same thing happened to the governor of Delta State.
Even in Enugu.
Exactly. So that's it. That's the politics. They need federal presence. Whereby
okay, so haven't been in the center all this while. What has the center done for them that they weren't able to do when they were not there?
Okay, let me give you an example.
Is there anything special?
If you are aligned with the center, if you build a federal road, your money will be refunded to you.
So, Mr. Mokhtar, are you saying that Nigerians will be left with no choice but to return President Tinubu in 2027, irrespective of how well he has performed? And in your opinion, do you think, because you think he's better than Buhari, do you think he's done well enough to guarantee him a second term?
It will take a miracle for him not to come to power. Whether he has done well or not, if you follow election in Nigeria, it's about who is backing you, not whether you have done well or not. Because, like somebody said, when he was not even in this, when all of us we lose, he still won. Whether he won through the court, whether they won through rigging or whatever we might say it, they won. So now that he's in the center, how do you think it's easy? If Goodluck Jonathan didn't want to leave as president, he would have not left and nothing would have happened.
Think that he's done good enough, first of all, to guarantee a second term?
It's relative, Precious. It depends on what. If it asks the governors why they are supporting him, they'll say he has done so well that these days they have more money. But if I ask the ordinary Nigerian, yes, they have more money from the federation account.
How does that translate to food on the table of the average Nigerian?
Well, if you ask the governor of Abia State, they will tell you that Tinubu policy have made him to build all the road because he's getting more money from the center and generating money from...
Your governor will say the same thing, sir. Your
my own
governor is one
governor.
of his praise singers.
No, just leave my own governor, the gutter governor. Don't worry about that.
Ew.
Yes, now that's what he pride himself, is that the governor that goes into the gutter.
But Mr. Mukhtar, my question is coming from the fact that if you know that all over the world.
Let me tell you the truth. Let me tell you the truth. They have weaponized poverty. So what we have now are people that are desperate for what they will eat, what they will drink. They're not interested in their future. So that's why they are ready to mortgage their vote for 5,000 naira. And that's why I say it's not about his performance any longer. By the time you asked yourself why we have not put so much emphasis on education, self-education. Once you are educated, you will be able to get self-education by your own self. Have you asked yourself why? So they are weaponized poverty. So every Nigerians are thinking of what will I eat, what will I drink. It's only me and you that you are looking at the future. No, don't mortgage. Oh, no mortgage. Oh, don't mortgage. Oh, no, do the right thing. Over the weekend, you heard Bishop David Oyedepo saying that we have a right to have our voters' card to determine the government. But how many of us will take that serious? How many people, Precious, the challenge we have is that on that day, how many people go to vote?
So the reason I asked that question is that, sir, every government all over the world is at its best in its first tenure. If this is the best of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what should we look forward to in his second term?
Well, it's not at its best. Every government that is not at its best, when you have a very good educated places, you go and ask Donald Trump. When the American people felt he was not at his best at his first term, they get him out. They got him off.
That's what I'm saying. So people usually, that's what I'm saying. So usually most governments that seek second tenure are usually, they try their best to do their best during their first tenure. So if this is our best that we have now for someone who's seeking for a second tenure, what should we expect? And especially at the time when he does not have an opposition. So there is nothing stopping him.
Well, he has told us that he will come. When the campaign starts, you will hear him take the mic and ask people, how am I doing? They'll say you are doing very well. He will say in second term, we'll do better. He has told you that the current pain is temporary, that there's light at the end of the tunnel. That's what he will tell them.
All right,
okay,
thank you.
Let me add to that question.
Yeah. Release him. His time is up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
To your question, I think, and to his what he was saying earlier on, first of all, it's education. And what I mean is literacy in governance. When the people are not so exposed as to know what is good for them. And so when government comes and does what they are supposed to do, we think that they have done good and they have done us a favor. Meanwhile, we are the ones that employed them. We are the ones. I remember when John Kerry was vying in an applicant in one of the campaigns. He came the day he was to do his speech to the Democrats. He said, "I am John Kerry. I have come to report to duty." Okay, because first of all, the people that are our ruler, the so-called leaders that are there, they know that whether you vote or you don't vote, they will be there. They're gonna come in anyway, and therefore, it doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they. After all, this is somebody that stood and said, "If I don't give you power, do not vote me." That alone, if it were in this country, when George Bush the senior was to come to, by that time I was not here in America. But when he was to come, he told America, say, read my lips, you're not going to get tax increase. But when he came, that alone, that was what disqualified him for the second term. Because he flouted, he said, read my lips. And this man stood and said, read my lips. If I do not give you power, do not vote me back. That alone is enough. Even if he had done every other thing good, for the mere fact that he did not give you power, that alone is a disqualifier. And so the people are not as educated to say, Oga, this is your promise, you did not go to it. And then secondly is poverty. Okay, they impoverish you so that on that day they give you 5,000 naira, you vote for them. The third one is tribalism. And the other one is religion. He has used, I commend Bishop Oyedepo for saying what he said, but I want them to go further. I want them to go further and say, if you are a Christian, you cannot vote for Muslim tickets. Today, I read something that said Dogara dumps APC because of Muslim tickets. I want the men of God in Nigeria to go further to say, because Tinubu has insulted us enough. If you're a Christian, especially Oyedepo that said he has 140 churches all over the world, they are in 140 countries, which means he has a handful of members in Nigeria that it can affect the election somehow. If him and Baba Adeboye and every other one, and Roman Catholic especially, if Bishop Kuka comes in tomorrow and said, you have insulted us enough, every Christian do not vote for this ticket. But they will not have that power, that balls to do it. And unfortunately, I just pray that what Mokhtar alluded, that Tinubu is good, I just pray it does not happen. I just pray. Otherwise, Nigeria will be in hell.
Somebody here did ask that. So what do we do to get him out? Should we just sit down and let it happen? Is it that for the next 6 months, Nigerians don't have a choice, but just to sit down, look and watch this happen again?
What can we do to get Tinubu out is to get our voters card and go out and vote and protect our vote.
Do you think that when people go out and vote and protect their vote?
The average Nigerian will tell you that.
Vote? Okay, sir. I was saying that, do you think that people come out to vote and protect their votes, that it can stop Jagaban?
Yes.
I
can say it confidently. So
that's the only solution to the problem?
That's the only solution. Yes.
Precious, let me ask you, people in diaspora, can they register for, how do they register for PVC? Is it possible?
Unfortunately, it's not.
Not yet.
It's not. You can do the pre-registration, but you must come for the physical finish up. And I think that's deliberately to disenfranchise people in the diaspora. But again, as I said, you see, Mokhtar, there's something I've been telling them here. I told them that those of them in the diaspora, saying that they say that who they pay the piper, they dictate the tune. I don't tell them before, say, then with the diaspora, we feel say that them be the economic power and powerhouse of their people for Nigeria. They have the right to tell their people in Nigeria to vote the right citizens that they want, candidate that they want. Should them in diaspora not pumping money in campaign and sensitization to their people in their villages, in their words, to make sure they vote the right person? Because what I am hearing now, sorry, Mr. Obisin, the point I'm going now, from the feelers I get and gossips around, most of your traditional rulers are sold out. Not by their own volition, but because it's been stationed, it's been made to be like that. So it is now your responsibility as stakeholders in those villages, in those places, to hold your people directly accountable. You can buy a traditional ruler, but you cannot buy the people, generally. Now, the people where they wear the shoe go dictate where they be. So, Mr. Mokhtar, let me let you jump in on that very quickly whilst I let you say your goodbyes.
Yes, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. It's done if it's in America. And every election in America is not the leading candidate that does all the sponsor. A lot of people contribute money. So, but again, you now look at the Electoral Act also. Does it permit you to contribute money as an individual or as a party? That's a topic for another day, Precious.
Even by the Electoral Act, I think CJOG here has noted that the Electoral Act states, the Constitution states that continuous voter registration can only stop about 90 days before the election. But this INEC has stopped it already this month end, meaning that it's more than 150 days before the election that's stopping it, which is illegal if you go by the Constitution.
They will tell you they'll come back. They will tell you by December they will come again.
No, okay. But why did even in Constitution it's wrong to make it 90 days? Because over here, that week of election, you keep registering people. What about people that will turn 18? That is the reason why
it is called continuous. So,
but what about the people that will turn? What about the people that will turn 18 by December? So they will not vote.
They will wait till the next election when they will be 22.
Oh God!
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Mokhtar. Do you have a parting shot, something you want to leave us with as we wrap up, sir?
Yeah, I want to say, well done, Precious, what you are doing. Like I say, your program is always very frank, inclusive, very bold, and fearless. Thank you for having me.
They say I be Tinubu. They say I don't collect money for Tinubu. They support them more.
But I want to say
help me.
I want to say that
they don't know I'm a stubborn woman. You know, you're the only one who has met me physically. You know how stubborn I can be. They don't know say I'm from River State. They don't know. They don't know say we stop off our village.
So I want to also say that to every Nigerian that against all hope, we should hope for the better and know that we have to see this country as our country and we are stakeholders. And we go out to make sure that Nigeria work. If all of us decide that Nigeria will work, definitely Nigeria will work. For now, we've allowed the politician to decide for us whether Nigeria works or not.
So now our responsibility to decide whether you don't do, we won't make this country work now. Do you think that when Nigerians come out to say they want it to work, that it will work?
You don't hear that slogan. Our mumu don't do. Remember, remember that at a point, Kwara State was under the umbrella of one man. He decided everything. They came up with a slogan. Is it one slogan that say it's enough? It ends. So we should learn from that. No, the day we decide to take the destiny of this country into our hands, definitely that elusive change will come.
And you believe that if we say that, we can achieve it once we come together to say
we will achieve it if we decide. We put away religion, we put away tribalism, and we decide that enough is enough. We want a better Nigeria. To make our leaders realize that we put you there, and if we put you there, we can bring you back. We can remove you when you don't perform. For now, our leaders believe that Baba to say, Baba Sokwe. So it's only Baba that will remove them. All you need to look is to go back to your state, River State, and ask for Bara.
Thank you for that uppercut. You have to give me that uppercut. One other guest here, they call me, say, not only your state, River State, then bring, let's say they call him again. He said, he said that no, he said
expatriate.
He said expatriate. So now only my state they bring expatriate to rule us. Now you don't give me this uppercut. It is well, sir. Thank you so much. And somebody asks, is it legal for us to give 100K naira prizes if voter turnout in each state exceeds a certain amount and the winners can prove they voted? Okay.
Of course, yes. But that's it. But you need to look at your legal people. The man in America can tell you, Elon Musk did it for Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, and it was not Republican that was in power then.
Yeah,
it was not Republican. It was Democrats that were in power, and yet he was able to dole out over $70 million to support Donald Trump. And it still was against the Constitution because you're not supposed to do that. But hey.
And he did it.
The world we're
so
in.
That means if Nigerians are determined, they can by themselves finance this election.
Of
and
course.
decide to get this government out of power.
Of
So it's
course.
still in line with
I totally agree.
it's still in line with what we have been saying here on this platform since. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Mokhtar. I appreciate it. It's been a long time, and I'll be disturbing you more because say with the enter our heat period, I go disturb you more, sir. Thank you so much.
I'm available for you.
Thank
anytime.
You. So Nigerians, Mr. Mokhtar
we'll make it work.
Wait, make I sell your market to Nigerians. Mr. Mokhtar is one of the most intelligent financial experts you can ever have in Nigeria. See, if you want to make money from Nigeria and the stock markets in Nigeria, that kind of money that he says that people are coming to just make sharp and go back, and you make money so fast, just come and ask Mr. Mokhtar. And because of me, he may consult for you for half of his consultation fee. He never tell me, but just the guess him. Mr. Mokhtar is amazing, and he will tell you the right places to put your money and get good returns. He's amazing. I'm planning to follow his financial advice when I grow up.
Okay. I'm still growing. I will take your details from Precious.
I'm still growing. When I grow up, I will come collect your own details by myself. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Mokhtar. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Always a
God
pleasure
bless you,
your program, Precious.
Thank you. God bless you, sir.
Too.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Obisi, make I quickly show you a video of waiting the woman from the kidnapped principal talk very quickly before I let you go, sir.
Praising himself.
Was there any form of molestation on anybody?
Sexual molestation? No.
Mrs. Richard, what next for you? What's next for you?
I think the video is very thin. So I think they were trying to ask her questions around what their experiences were, if the kids were sexually harassed or abused and all of those issues. But I tried to boost that audio and play it for you next time. Mr. OBC, you have a parting shot, so I appreciate you big time. Thank you.
What I'm going to say is this.
This one, you first take a deep breath.
What I will say, I'm going to direct this sectionally. The people I'm directing this to are, I know there are people, pastors that support APC, are still supporting Tinubu. And, but this is what I'm going to say. The Bible says the rod of iniquity will not rest in the bosom or in the field of the righteous. He said, lest the righteous will stretch their hand unto iniquity. If you are, whether a pastor or a Christian, and you are supporting this evil government, that is to institute iniquity in the land. And if your members start stealing, do not accuse them that they have done wrong. Because man has an instinct to survive. The first instinct of a man is to survive. And that is why people go about taking money from politicians. Because if you have not eaten all day and somebody gives you 5,000 to vote for the wrong person, you will. And so I say it again, for those, the rod of iniquity will not rest in the bosom of righteousness, lest the righteous will stretch their hand unto iniquity. If you're a Christian, if you're a pastor, do the right thing, and you know the right thing. Vote the right person. Vote out this evil government that will institute, that already has instituted iniquity in the land. Thank you, Ms. Precious.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Obisi. I appreciate you big time. Thank you so much. And to the rest Nigerians, I'd like to say a big thank you for always being part of the show. It's always a pleasure to have you guys join us and to join the program and to contribute. I appreciate you guys and I love you guys so dearly. I'll see you again tomorrow evening, God willing. At the meantime, remember to protect your mental health because wahala no dey finish. I love you guys. Protect your mental health. Good night and God bless you. If you've not liked and subscribed to this platform, I beg now, please like, share, and subscribe. Kindly like, share, and subscribe. Good night and God bless you. Bye.